The sun was shining brightly over Hollywood Arts High School, a perfect California day, the kind that makes you want to stay outside forever. The campus buzzed with energy, and the air was filled with laughter and excitement as students hurried between classes, eager to enjoy every moment of the sunshine. My friends and I claimed our usual spot in the Asphalt Cafe during lunch, surrounded by the chatter of other students and the smell of fresh food drifting from the cafeteria. It was our favorite place to relax, catch up, and just be ourselves. Andre strummed his guitar, working out a catchy new melody that had everyone tapping their feet. Kat launched into one of her wild stories, her hands waving in the air, while Beck and Jade sat close together, sharing quiet smiles and inside jokes. Robbie, with Rex perched on his arm, cracked joke after joke, making the whole table burst out laughing. Even the teachers passing by couldn't help but smile at our group's energy. It was just us, soaking up the creative energy of our school, feeling like nothing could go wrong. The whole campus felt alive, and we were right in the middle of it. We talked about our plans for the afternoon, maybe working on music, grabbing frozen yogurt from the shop down the street, or just relaxing under the trees. Every idea sounded perfect, and we couldn't wait to see what the rest of the day would bring. The bell was about to ring, so we gathered our things, still laughing and joking as we packed up. None of us wanted the lunch break to end, but we knew class was waiting. The sky above was a brilliant, cloudless blue, and the sun felt warm on our backs. There was no hint at all of what was about to happen next. As we walked toward the main building, I took a deep breath, loving this moment with my friends. It felt like one of those days you'd remember forever, simple, happy, and full of promise. Little did we know, our peaceful day was about to turn wild. The weather had other plans for us, and we were completely unprepared for what was coming. Our simple walk back to class was about to become a race against the rain, a sudden, unexpected adventure that would make this day unforgettable. Halfway across the courtyard, the air felt different, as if the world was holding its breath for a moment. A cool breeze swept in, rustling the leaves and sending a shiver through the group. It was the kind of wind that made you pause and look up, wondering what was coming next. Overhead, the sky turned dark, shifting from bright blue to a heavy, ominous grey in just seconds. Andre looked up, surprised. "Whoa, where did that come from?" he asked, his voice barely louder than the wind. Kat hugged her backpack tightly to her chest. "The clouds look angry," she whispered, her eyes wide as thunder rumbled in the distance. Jade rolled her eyes, trying to act unfazed, but even she looked uneasy as the sky grumbled above us, the sound echoing across the courtyard. Suddenly, a cold raindrop hit my nose, then another and another, each one sharper and colder than the last. In seconds, it was a downpour, the rain coming down so hard it was like walking through a waterfall. We screamed and laughed, instantly soaked to the bone. Robbie's glasses fogged up so much he could barely see, and Rex yelled, "Abandon ship!" as we all dashed for cover. Andre tried desperately to save his keyboard, shielding it with his jacket, but it was hopeless against the sheets of rain. The rain was relentless, pounding the pavement, splashing against our shoes, and creating huge puddles that quickly spread across the school grounds. We were stranded, cold, and drenched in the middle of a sudden storm. Our hair and clothes clung to us, and we shivered as we looked for shelter, fast. The fun was quickly turning into a real problem, and for the first time, we realized just how unprepared we were for the storm. For a moment, we just stood there, soaked and clueless. The rain poured down in sheets, drenching us to the bone, and for a split second, it felt like the world had stopped moving. None of us knew what to do next, and the uncertainty hung in the air, as heavy as the storm itself. We exchanged glances, searching each other's faces for answers, but all we saw was confusion and a hint of panic. The thunder rumbled above, making us flinch, and the cold rainwater trickled down our necks, reminding us that we couldn't stay there forever. I realized someone had to take charge, or we'd be stuck in that downpour all day. My heart pounded as I stepped forward, trying to sound braver than I felt. I knew I had to do something. "Guys, follow me!" I called out, raising my voice above the roar of the rain. My eyes darted around until I spotted a side gate leading to an old street behind the school, a possible escape from the storm. Beck grabbed Kat's hand, Andre clutched his keyboard to his chest, and Jade, ever the skeptic, grumbled but ran with us anyway. Our shoes slapped against the wet pavement as we hurried toward the gate, adrenaline pushing us forward. We splashed through puddles, barely able to see through the curtain of rain. The wind whipped at our faces, and our laughter mixed with shouts as we dodged the biggest puddles. I pushed open the rusty gate, and we spilled onto a quiet street lined with old, crumbling buildings. The rain was even heavier here, drumming on the pavement and echoing off the walls. I searched desperately for cover. Then, through the blur, I spotted an old building with a deep doorway. "Over there!" I shouted, pointing. We dashed under the awning, finally out of the storm's reach. Panting and shivering, we huddled together, catching our breath. We'd made it, together. In that moment, soaked and exhausted, we realized we were safe, at least for now, and that sometimes all it takes is one person to lead the way. We huddled in the doorway, catching our breath. Above us, a faded sign read, "Old Music Emporium." Andre peered through the dusty window. "Guys, look at this!" Inside, the shop was filled with old instruments, guitars, a grand piano, shelves of records. Robbie leaned on the door. It creaked open. A musty smell drifted out, and Rex said, "Let's explore." Jade led the way inside, and we followed. The shop was huge, moonlight casting shadows over trumpets, violins, and drums. It was quiet, except for the rain on the roof. We'd stumbled into a secret world of music. It was a little spooky, but magical. Our rainy day adventure had just taken a wonderful turn. We couldn't wait to explore. Our creativity took over. Andre played the grand piano, filling the shop with music. Beck found a vintage guitar and joined in. Kat danced with a feather boa from a costume box. Robbie discovered a creepy old dummy, and Rex started a puppet argument. Jade posed with dramatic stage props. I grabbed a microphone and sang about the rain and friendship. Soon we were having a full-blown jam session. Laughter and music filled the air, our wet clothes forgotten. We weren't just hiding from the rain, we were celebrating it. This forgotten shop became our stage for the best show ever. We played and explored until the rain faded. Andre played a final chord, and sunlight streamed through the skylight. We put everything back, wanting to keep the shop a secret. Outside, the world sparkled, and a rainbow arched across the sky. We stood together, smiling, feeling closer than ever. Walking back to school, we knew we'd faced a challenge as a team. Sometimes storms lead to the best adventures. We returned as the kids with a story to tell. Rain couldn't stop our creativity or friendship. It was a day we'd never forget, our epic rain adventure.